This video is actually going to be a sort of a lessons learned about our trailer build. Now, we've had this thing for a year now, a little over a year. We've put it through some abuse and we've camped with it half a dozen times. A lot of times we bring it on just a little short runs we do just to be able to keep our gear in and cook out of. We'll just unhook and leave it wherever we are. And so it's been overall really good, and we're actually adding on to it in another video where we're building a slide out kitchen for it. So go ahead and check that out. That's on our one of the playlists there. So what we're going to be doing while we're building that slide out kitchen is actually repairing a couple things on here that have gone wrong or that we should have done a little better. And you know, I don't take that as negative at all. I did this build on a budget. I didn't want to spend 10 grand on an off-road trailer. You know, so I figured why not try and build this thing out of wood. We really didn't have a lot of money invested. I think we've spent maybe about $1,000 for everything. I mean, the tires, the axle, even those things we tried finding either used or as cheap as we could get them. And really we just had fun with it. I mean, that's honestly the biggest part of this whole journey, I guess, we're on in general, is just, you know, everybody with a lot of money can go out and buy whatever they want, but you know, if you're having fun and you're doing what you like to do, then so be it. So let's get into the trailer a little bit. So a couple of the things right off the bat is people say, well, you built it out of wood, why wouldn't you do steel or aluminum and weld it all together, be stronger than ever? The strength, of course, would be better overall, but like I said, we put this through a lot of bumpy roads, and as far as I was concerned the first time, I said if I bring it down a really bumpy, rocky trail and it survives at all, I'm impressed. I mean, this thing is glued and screwed at every seam. We've fiberglassed over all the corners. Of course, over many years of beating it up, I'm sure it's going to shake around a bit, and you know, but honestly, overall, this thing has really held up. So a couple things that have happened due to it being made out of wood is you're going to have to deal with some warpage from the wood drying out. So the first thing that happened, actually only about a month of having it, was the rear door tweaked a little bit on us, and it was becoming a little difficult to open without a little bit of force. So the good thing is, over the next couple months, it didn't get any worse. So I think what it did was dry out and warped a tiny bit. The hinge is actually perfectly still in place. The only thing that happened is right here, this seam pretty much closed up to nothing when there was about at least an 1/8 inch gap. If we go to the other side, you can see now the gap is larger than an 1/8 because the whole thing twisted a little bit. But I'm still happy with this. We're still getting a seal out of it from the inside rubber that's in there. This thing we had actually beveled downward, so if water ever did get in, it would drain right out. So that's actually normal right there. Still sealing. So what I'm going to do as a quick fix on this is I'm literally going to take the circular saw, take about an 1/8 inch off of this whole side all the way up, and then respray that edge. We're not going for perfection here on the finish coating at all. You probably won't even be able to tell at all that it's not blended in. Just put a little tape line, spray it, seal off the corner of that wood. Then we'll just move our latch over about 1/8 of an inch too, put our lock back on here, and it'll be good as new. So that issue will be solved after that. The next one would be on the inside here. What's happened is, sorry, it's a little messy, but we have these two shock supports. One of them, because they're so strong, and they do lift this door up no problem, we only have some panhead screws in there right now. So excuse the noise in here. My garage door is flapping around. It's really windy outside, so I hope the noise isn't too bad. But so what's happened over here is, oh, let me get this out of the light. This has, the screws just keep ripping out. So an easy quick fix for this is literally just going to be drill through the wood completely here and put a smaller nut and a bolt. to actually hold that shock in place. So go back over here. So I'll do it to this side as well. So we're just going to replace these screws. I can't get it to focus here. We're going to replace these screws with just some small nuts and bolts. That'll keep that thing completely strong. The other end down here is actually a sort of a custom bracket we welded up. It's just with a big lag bolt through the outside, double washer and a nut to hold it against the outside wall. And then we just welded this sort of bracket that I made, and that thing is strong. That doesn't move at all whatsoever. So that's fix number 2. That's lesson learned, I guess, number 2. Again, a simple fix. So the other issue with the wood is the fact that we used a cheaper plywood, because the kitchen build we're doing, we're actually using poplar, which is, you know, about $40 a sheet, which is well worth it because it's ultra smooth, really strong, durable stuff. But for this, we went with a cheaper option, and what I thought would be better was flipping the rougher grain outside so that the Raptor liner would stick better. Come to find out, it has no issue sticking to wood at all. So I should have put the smooth side out, because what's happened is, let me go around the other side, is we've had some of that grain starting to split out, which causes, I've actually chipped these pieces off that were sticking out. I'm going to just fill them with Bondo, and we're going to just retouch up this whole side. So this spot up here, which looks really bad, I want to just show you guys this. I dug this out with a screwdriver. I'm going to fill this with Bondo as well, but what was happening was the grain had just lifted up and water could easily access under there, so it was just going to continually get worse. So what I'm going to do is I chipped it off. We're going to fill that with Bondo. We're going to just touch up these areas with Raptor liner. And that Raptor liner can go on really thick, where I'm going to just sand this down a little bit and cover that. And once that grain's covered up, you won't even be able to tell it's there. So again, not a huge ordeal. It's not like it messes with the overall strength of the structure whatsoever, but you know, it'll just clean up the look to get rid of these grains. So that's lesson learned number 3. The fenders, I will say, have held up really nice. No issue with those. Those are bolted right through the side of the trailer in here. Have no problems with that. The window's holding up really great. The window itself flips out as an emergency exit. So that portion had a bad seal because it was just shrunk down over time. So we had a little bit of leak in there, but it wasn't from us installing the window. It was just from the actual emergency exit lift point seal. So we'll probably replace that, but the leak was so minor that I may not even do anything about it until it gets worse. So here you can see more of that grain. It looks a lot worse, I think, on this camera because of the light that's hitting it, but you know, I'm going to just hit this with some 40 grit paper just to rough it up. Just put a little bit of coat of Bondo over it just to smooth it out, and then we'll just respray it. No big deal. Another little chip we had there. Trying to think what else we need to cover. This door seal has held up really nice. This was actually just a part of a front door, entry door weather stripping on the bottom. We just screwed that on there so that can pretty much, when you close it, just seals right against the side. It keeps water out. And we put this here to basically force the rain from this direction, from our back tires, just out and away from that seal, so the water doesn't even try to go in there. So I believe that is it. Let's peek on the inside just to make sure if that reminds me of anything. I think overall that's pretty much it. We got a lot of stuff in here that we just kind of thrown in here during the winter while it's been in storage. So yeah, I guess those are a couple of the lessons learned. Again, it's, as far as I'm concerned, it's a success. We're more than happy with it, and like I said, check out our other video. We're building the slide out kitchen. Here's a sneak peek. Here it is right here. I'm about to prep these a little bit more, fill in the screw holes, go around here and show you guys the front. Definitely check this video out. This is a really cool build. We have a slide out cooler that goes here, built-in cooktop, double burner. This is some food storage, and then that whole unit actually slides in, and it's going to be placed on the front of the trailer right here. So thanks a lot, guys. Again, thanks for your support. If you haven't yet, click subscribe, and please don't be afraid to comment. We love comments, negative, positive. It doesn't matter. We love to hear from you guys. Again, thanks for your support, and see you guys soon.